Hi, I'm Nicole. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to our first episode of The Radical Crux, where we discuss extreme issues, radical ideas, and pivotal incentives. Today's episode is about the nature of work relative to the rise of robots and artificial intelligence. The first thing I want to do is define robots because the robots of today are not like the mechanical machines that ultimately arose out of the Industrial Revolution. But rather, the robots of today are killing machines that are here to take over the planet Earth. Just kidding. Actually, the robots of today are mindful machines. They can be anything from self-cleaning toilets to smart cars and to robots that perform surgery. In today's episode, we will be picking the minds of experts, beginning with Michio Kaku, futurist and string theorist, inventor and engineer Elon Musk, author and historian Yuval Harari, author and CEO of Spark Cognition Amir Hussain, author, inventor, and computer scientist Ray Kurzweil. So let's unlock the minds of these experts now. We will begin with Michio Kaku. So Michio Kaku is an optimist, and although he is a bit utopian, he does point out challenges and concerns about the future, especially relative to the singularity, which is a time when artificial intelligence supersedes the human mind, which is something we will talk about in a bit. Professor Kaku holds the view that information technology and artificial intelligence will bring about abundance, in that information technology will be significantly cheaper, everyone will be connected to the cloud, and he says that we will access the internet in the blink of an eye using internet smart contact lenses. He also says that most everyone will own smart homes that will be equipped with smart walls, smart appliances, smart windows, and we will own such things as smart toothbrushes that will be able to assess your dental health. Professor Kaku explains that classic PCs operate on Moore's Law, which means that their processing power doubles every 18 months, but that Moore's Law is coming to an end. But I should say that from my perspective, Moore's Law isn't coming to an end, and Michio Kaku explains this. Rather, it is reaching or has reached a plateau relative to our classic personal computers, but it will be replaced with quantum mechanics. So he explains, or quantum computers, I should say. So he explains that PCs operate off of the up and down spin of atoms, where the up spin would be assigned the number 1 and the down spin would be applied to the number 0, which is the equivalent of alternating ones and zeros. Because on a classic PC, the Pentium chips are about 20 atoms across, while in quantum computers, the Pentium chips are about 5 atoms across, and it makes it impossible to locate the whereabouts of an atom in only 5 layers. So I will do an episode later explaining quantum mechanics and the nature of electrons and their whereabouts relative to quantum computing in another episode. But for this episode, I'll just say that the difference when applied to quantum computers is that rather than having alternating ones and zeros, as I just mentioned, the ones and zeros in quantum computers are superimposed, which means they will surpass the every 18-month doubling of classic PCs. So this also means that the rate at which computer processing power will advance is faster than most of us can even fathom. So an exponential advancement. So let's shift our attention now to inventor and futurist Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil is the author of 5 national best-selling books, the co-founder and chancellor at Singularity University. He is also the director of engineer at Google and is heading up a team developing machine intelligence and natural language understanding. Mr. Kurzweil explains that the end of Moore's law is actually the emergence of the law of accelerating returns applicable to information technology, which also includes both hardware and software. And he says the law of accelerating returns is what he bases his entire futurism on, and is what will bring us into the era of the singularity. So, Mr. Kurzweil explains that computer processing power is advancing in doublings. The speed of computer processing power is unfolding in doublings, such as 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 16, 16 to 36, and so forth. So, what the law of accelerating returns says is that analysis of the history of technology shows that technological change is exponential, contrary to the common sense intuitive linear view. So we won't experience 100 years of progress in the 21st century. Rather, it will be more like 20,000 years of progress at today's rate. And once again, Mr. Kurzweil explains this: the singularity is a future point in time when technology will rapidly improve itself to surpass human intelligence, changing human life as we know it. So, Mr. Kurzweil also explains that the fields of biotechnology and nanotechnology will play a huge role in bringing us to the time of the singularity. And he and Dr. Michio Kaku both assert that at the time of the singularity, our brains will literally be connected to the cloud or to supercomputers. Mr. Kurzweil also predicts that in the near future, probably within the next decade, most people will own 3D printers, that we will print at home tools, household items, toys, interior decoration, furniture, and we will even print our own clothing. So it's easy to see how 3D printers will affect the market and the workforce, in that there will be much less need for going to physical stores to do our shopping. So there will be much less need for workers in the service sector of the retail industry. So now I want to switch to Elon Musk, tap his brain here for a minute. Elon is the founder and CEO of Tesla Motors. He is also the founder and CEO of SpaceX. He is the founder of Solar City, and he is also the founder of a new company called Neuralink. So I thought everyone knows Elon Musk. Much to my dismay, I found out that is incorrect, and it seems that many more people know the Kardashians. So yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, SpaceX only launches orbital rockets. Big deal, right? So, but it seems that people are more concerned with Kim Kardashian's butt. So, while Elon Musk is an optimist, he also expresses concerns relative to the rise of artificial intelligence. And one of his fears is that AI will end up in the hands of a small elite group of people, so he wants to see it democratized. Also, his other concern is that artificial intelligence will outcompete humans in everything, so basically rendering us useless, which I agree. Artificial intelligence and robots will outcompete us in everything. So this is the reason he has founded his new company called Neuralink. Neuralink manufactures a product called Neuralace, which is a digital implant of sorts that will augment or enhance human intelligence so that we can keep up with artificial intelligence. So now let's turn our focus to historian and author Yuval Harari. So Yuval is perhaps a walking paradox in that he is a forward-thinking historian. And his latest work is titled Homo Deus, A History of Tomorrow, in which he stands on the shoulders of experts, as do I, to form his ideas about the future of humanity relative to artificial intelligence. So Yuval has been called a dystopian by his critics, and even though I'm not a critic, I myself have called him a dystopian. But in hindsight, I think that he is actually just very realistic about this topic, and I think, his main concern is more about the transition between now and the time of the singularity, the time where humans and artificial intelligence merge. And he sees this as the end of humanity as we know it, as we will have basically become gods. And I agree with him. This is an aspect of the singularity. So not only will artificial intelligence supersede human intelligence, we will merge with it, and yeah, we will basically be gods. So Yuval is aware of the fact that, seeing as we are a society that believes wholeheartedly, hands down, just, it's a stronghold sentiment that we have to work in order to get the things we need. Not just the things that we want, but the things that we need to survive. And he's concerned, in light of automation and robotics and artificial intelligence taking our jobs, which we very much identify ourselves by, and by and large, our success is also measured by our work and our education. And so he recognizes that this could be a rather significant blow during this transition. And I agree with him. It's something that we need to be discussing. So let's turn our heads now to our final expert, founder and CEO of Spark Cognition, Amir Hussain. Amir is, he thinks about the same as all of the other experts that we have just discussed. His company is unique in that what Spark Cognition does is they offer an alternative to like Elon's Neuralace. So his company manufactures external software that can be used to augment and enhance human intelligence. So Amir is also the author of a book titled The Sentient Machine, and seeing as it is relative to our topic, I want to read a passage from the book very briefly. So, like everything else in culture, political ideas, artistic movements, food choices, the myth that our worth is intrinsically tied to our productivity is a fluid one. At one time in our recent past, this fable involved the existence of robber barons. The story then morphed into a belief in FDR's New Deal. The mythologies of Ayn Rand followed along with a revision of Darwinism in the economic context. This too will change as the planet's population makes such notions completely unsustainable. All of these ideas are malleable in accordance with the times in which we live, and the fable we tell ourselves most often, that our worth comes from our ability to create objects of economic value, is no different. So what kinds of work will be assigned to automation? Well, we have robots in the food industry, like robots that make pizza or assist in making pizza. We have unmanned autonomous farming equipment that is able to differentiate between plants and weeds. We also have 3D printers that print entire buildings, such as entire apartment complexes have been printed, entire homes have been printed, which is done in a 24-hour period of time. We also have drones that plant trees and do so more efficiently than we can. Um, and we also have automobile vending machines. And one of the interesting features of these vending machines is that they are vertical, they are built vertically, and so that saves space. Also, another interesting characteristic of these vending machines is that you order your car online. You don't go and deal with a salesman, you just simply pick out what you want from the internet. Also, we have autonomous cars and autonomous semi trucks. This will significantly impact the transportation industry. We also have autonomous warehouse product and freight movers. We have robot receptionist. This is a receptionist in a completely human-free hotel in Japan. I mean, even your food is purchased from like vending machines. There is also a completely unmanned hotel in Australia known as the Copper City Motel. Again, in the food industry, we have robots that serve like you know, waiters and waitresses, and we also have at least one currently robot in the industry of law. Yeah, we have a robot that is an attorney. Also, we have robots that, or there are robots that write music that is indistinguishable from human music. And we also have robots that draw. They do a very good job at it as you can see. So, um, I think this is something that we need to really be thinking about. A lot of people just want to bury their heads in the sand regarding artificial intelligence taking over the workforce. They see it as a very bad thing. Personally, I don't really see it as a bad thing. I see it as something that just is, and something that we need to be thinking about, and something that we need to be discussing. As for me personally, I'm pretty excited about this. I love technology, so I'm a bit biased, and I am all for the robots doing the work. Also, you know, as we have more and more autonomous electric cars put on the road, the use of fossil fuels will be significantly reduced, and perhaps we can clean up our environment and live much cleaner and more serene lifestyles. Perhaps with more time on our hands and with all of the new technology, we will be able to live a life of abundance. Perhaps we will see broken homes, or the condition of broken homes and split up families, be mended, and we will see families living happier and healthier lives due to a tremendous amount of less stress from not having to be out in the workforce, especially working in mundane jobs. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the future is bright. I think that so long as we discuss things and have a positive outlook, we will have a very abundance-filled future to look forward to. If you have any questions and or comments, please do so in the appropriate field below. And thank you for watching.